Brian Clough was arguably the best football manager that England never had. And if you want to get some personal tips from him on how to become a better manager, or football coach, I would say, stay tuned, because I will be digging into his autobiography and take out the most important information that I found. Of course, there's a lot of detail about his personal life in this book, which is also truly amazing, but I will be focusing on the football aspect, on his managerial career, on his player career even a little bit. Let's dig in. Now, almost 3 years ago, I started this journey to become a football manager. And I thought I would buy and read some books about successful football managers that and maybe copy a thing or two. One of these managers is Brian Clough. If you don't know him by now, I truly recommend watching the movie The Damned United, a masterpiece. It's about the whole life of Brian Clough and implicitly Peter Taylor, his assistant manager, who arguably was the brain behind every team they managed together. Also, buy this book if you're interested. Like I said, this book has a ton of detail about his personal life as well, but I just wrote down a few of the most important football tips that he gave. For example, the first one was, and I quote, "If you see too much of the ball during the week, you won't be hungry for it in matches." Which I cannot agree more, but you have to adapt it to your situation. For example, me right now, I coach a under 15 team. We train twice a week, so it's not so good to apply this. But if you're already coaching at a professional level and in the Premier League, in the Championship and so on, in League One even, if you train every day, you can absolutely and should apply this. If the ball isn't necessary, leave it out. Another very interesting quote: "I can do it better. What's more, I'll prove it." Yeah, that's a very solid attitude to have, not only for yourself, but also for the players, you know, for the players that you manage. They should have this confidence in them to actually want to prove that they are better than everyone else on the pitch, that they deserve their spot on the starting 11, that they deserve the spot in the team. And even more so for the team as a whole, that they are much better than the opposing team. That is a very solid attitude. I believe in choosing captains for leadership, irrespective of their position. Yeah, I can totally relate to that. For example, one of my coaches said that no goalkeeper should ever be a captain, because, like the way he saw it, a goalkeeper cannot lead the entire team during the match, because the goalkeeper is obviously in goal, right? He cannot travel around the pitch to lead everybody. But so I can see where he's coming from, and that's partly true. But in that case, you should also have a vice captain. Obviously, most of the teams have a vice captain that also leads the team when they're attacking, so when they're in the other box and the goalkeeper cannot help. And this is a funny one. It's easy to be a good manager. All you do is sign good players. Right. This was also meant in an ironic way. So it's obviously not all that managers do. Of course, you need the talent or the scouts to find the best players, also the best youth academy to bring up the best players, but the most important thing is also to manage them right. So to get them to play as a great team, so they can outplay every other team. That the whole squad acts like one unit. Look at Germany's 2014 World Cup win. They didn't have superstars in their team, but they had a team. And that's how they became world champions. Now, this is supposedly a dialogue that they had with one of the players they managed. When the opponent has the ball, fall back until he makes a mistake. But suppose he doesn't make a mistake, then you just concede a goal. And that's just giving away a goal, which is unnecessary, really. Another great coach that I had said that if a match of football happened without any mistakes, every match would end 0-0. And I can totally stand behind that, because behind every goal there is a mistake of some sort. Of course, sometimes there can be a magical shot from 50 yards out that just happens to smash right into the net. But that can also be seen as a mistake by the goalkeeper because he didn't place himself right. Of course, you cannot just rely on the opponent to make a mistake, because more often than not they don't. Decisiveness is very important. That is what I try to tell my players every time, every chance I get, because you do not have that much time on that pitch, especially if you're the one with the ball. Then your time is much more limited. You've got to know what you want to do with it. All your teammates have to know what to do with it. The team as a whole must know what to do with the ball in order to score a goal. If you get the ball and you're undecisive, you don't know you have no clue what to do with the ball, then you will lose it, and worst case scenario, you will concede a goal as well. So yeah, decisiveness is key. Worry off the field shows itself on the field and damages the aim of a maximum performance on match days. So it's a crime against the team to retain a problem. Now, both Peter Taylor and Brian Clough explain it largely in their books that they were almost like second parents to every player in the team. So whenever any of them had any problem, they should tell the managers, because that way the players lose this worry. You know, they gain more trust in you as a manager. Or if there was also an example in the book that if a player is an addict for something, you know, in alcohol or drugs, maybe the manager cannot help him directly, but they can organize a shrink or something, or a professional that can handle the situation. So every little or big mistake that happens in the private life of a player should be addressed to the manager so that it can be solved. Otherwise, the player will not be 100% for the team. He would not be 100% in his private life. He would have too much struggle, and it can get into really dark places. And nobody wants that. Do not sell or release a soul until you have seen them play. Now, this is I don't know if you can call it a smaller detail of being a manager, because it is pretty big actually, but yeah, there are definitely many managers who just come to a new club and see a player that they maybe have a beef with, or you know, it can be anything, and they just release them straight away or send them out on loan or something, you know. That is not good, because even if you know that guy, even if he didn't play well for the last team that you were at, it doesn't mean that he hasn't gotten back in form and can help your current team. Give every player a chance. Strength down the middle. A good goalkeeper, a good center half, a good striker or center forward. They are the spine of a team. Of course, I would also add a good center mid, or maybe I just skipped it when I was reading the book, I cannot remember, but yes, it is a crucial thing of a team. Because at the end of the day, the goals are in the central of the pitch, right? So even if the attacks come from the flanks, at some point they will be in the middle, right? So you have to have a strong spine in order to get rid of those balls and get attacking once again. Preserve standards of team behavior and discipline. No exceptions whatsoever. Yes, that is something I must agree 1000% with. But nowadays I see those young, talented players even that are just not disciplined enough. Because they roll around after every slight touch. You know what I'm talking about. Mostly. But yeah, that can apply to anybody. So if you have undisciplined players on your team, get rid of them. Or not sell them directly, but find them or don't let them play or something like that. Do not let them get away with this. Take a look at this clip. It's from the Romanian league. Coach Jika Hagi, you probably know him, the best Romanian football player of all times. Now he's one of the best coaches in our league. Yeah, just amazing. His player wanted to wait some time by, you know, diving, and he just picked him up. And told him to just keep playing. That is true leadership.
Iată de ce aici Benzar rămâne jos, apoi Tudor. Golul marcat de Tănase. Noi revedem o reacție a lui Hagi, care... Da, corect. Hai să jucăm fotbal.
Yep, let us play football. At the top level, a player who can't pass can't play. Because passing is probably the most crucial part of playing football. If you can't pass, you cannot get the ball forward to score a goal. If you can't pass and you want to score a goal, you only have to hope that the defenders of the opposing team make terrible mistakes and somehow you get a one-on-one opportunity with the keeper and somehow put the ball in the back of the net. But otherwise, yeah, if you can't pass, you can't play. We want matches won in the right manner by consistent performances, not like we saw in that clip, right? By cheating, not by... I don't think anybody wants to win a match by cheating. Am I wrong? But nobody should want to win a match by cheating. Now this next point comes together with the previous point that we had with the worries off the field and on the field, right? It says, if you're a pound overweight or 10 minutes late for training, we shall want to know why. We have to know everything, and we obviously mean the managers, right? They need to know everything that happens with the players. If they're 10 minutes late in training because there was traffic, that shouldn't be a problem. But the 10 minutes late for training because they had an argument with the significant other and they have a lot of stress at home and so on, that thing should be addressed. That should somehow be solved, either with the managers together or with professionals. Either way, it should be solved. This is really a big one and it's a good one to end with. Tactics are not diagrams and little arrows on a blackboard, but blends and formations and signings and football as a whole. I cannot agree more. Also, a great coach that I had said that the best tactic board is the pitch itself, because it's the biggest tactic board and the players could actually see the situations that you are referring to. They can see them much better from their actual point of view than just see them on a whiteboard drawn with some markers. That is really the best way to explain tactics, especially crucial tactics that you want to use in matches. So yeah, that was all the most crucial information that I got out of this wonderful book. Totally recommend to you. It's called Clough, the autobiography by Brian Clough, obviously. I could leave you a link in the description below to get it if you want. Also, like I said, I recommend watching The Damned United. Great movie. And yeah, I hope you liked this kind of video. I really wanted to talk more about football on the channel. If you like it, slap a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and of course follow me on Instagram. The link is down in the description below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you again, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.